Hello and welcome to Larissa's Kitchen. You've seen those giant pork loin chops in the meat department of the grocery store, and you're trying to figure out how can I use those for dinner. Well, tonight I'm going to show you how. You sent your significant other to the grocery store to buy these, and instead he or she came home with this monstrosity. Well, you don't need to kill them yet because they did buy the right thing and you got a bargain in the deal. We're just going to have to clean this up first. So we cut off the ends, and they can either go through the grinder, or if you don't have a grinder, they can just be cut into stew-sized pieces. The rest of this can just be cut into the pork loin chops. For our uses tonight, we need them to be 1.5 inches thick. This meal is incredibly simple. I've got 1 pork chop per person, liberally seasoned on both sides. I've also got 1/2 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of soy sauce, and 1/2 cup of sherry that I've mixed in here. This is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch mixed in with 1/2 cup of cold water. That's all we're going to need. So let's get over to the stove and start cooking. I've got my 12-inch nonstick skillet on over medium to medium-high heat. I've also got this sprayed with just a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. Once this pan heats up, we're going to put these pork chops in and let them sear on both sides. I'm making buttermilk mashed potatoes as a side for this dinner. I started those once I put the pork chops down. I'm going to sear these pork chops for about 3 minutes aside. They're going to barely be cooked, but they should be just a little bit brown. We're going to eventually return them to this pan with all of the sauce, and then they're going to simmer in the sauce to help cook the rest of the way through. Like all the meat we've cooked before, once you put it down, you've got to leave it down. That way it can brown. We're just getting ready to turn these now. Okay, you can see that these are still very well undercooked. We're going to go ahead and add the sauce in, and then these are going to continue to simmer and cook through. Now we still don't want to overcook them. These should be cooked to about medium rare. That whole process with the simmering will take about 10 to 12 minutes, and we are going to turn them periodically. Alright, we're going to turn this down to about medium to medium low. And we're just going to go ahead and get these pork chops in here and then give them a turn. Alright, as this simmers, this sauce is going to thicken, but it may not thicken enough for us to be able to use it. That's why we have the cornstarch and the 1/2 cup of water. Eventually we may need to pour some of this in here and allow that to thicken the rest of our sauce. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take them out of their simmering liquid. Let me turn this down a little. I'm going to take them out of their simmering liquid and put them back on this plate. Now I did wash this because this had raw pork on it. And then we're going to thicken up this sauce. Okay, I only started with just a little bit of this to begin with, about maybe a couple of tablespoons of water. We'll let this simmer and thicken up, and then if we need to add more, we will. Okay, this is thickened up. I'm going to go ahead and put these pork chops back in here. I'm going to turn them to coat. And then these are just going to stay in here on low while I finish the rest of the meal. This is cooked perfectly. In addition to this pan-seared pork loin chops and buttermilk mashers, I have grilled fresh pineapple spears and haricot verts. That's just a fancy name for petite green beans. So let's give this pork a taste. Oh, that flavor is so good. Perfect.